Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about Java, job opportunities and choices. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, I am a front-end developer without any experience and the job opportunities in my region is almost all for Java. Should I switch languages? And the short answer is yes. If you are dead set on having a job in your region, that's probably what you're gonna have to do. Let me explain. So I'm not in any way trying to promote that you do something that you don't want. You should always go with the thing that you want to do because it's the most sustainable thing for you. Every single person needs to feel engaged in order to long-term push themselves to do better in general. So if you pick a language or you do something that you don't want, odds are that you're going to hate, at some point, you're going to hate what you're doing. So with that said, however, I have to tell you that this is the thing that I'm not sure if you've noticed this about, at least I would like you to notice this about me when it comes to when I give you advice or when I try to communicate things about programming as opposed to quite a lot of the other people that you may have been listening to on the internet. And that is that I promote making the pragmatic choice. I am not an evangelist of a specific language. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to tell you that, oh, fuck everybody else, just go with Golang or go with Rust or go with JavaScript or something like that too, because it's just not true. Professional programmers, guys, they, over the course of their career, if you have a true senior software developer, they usually will tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you now. And that is that by the end of your career, odds are that you have learned more than one language. Very organically, you don't really necessarily have to study it just because you're interested, because sometimes the only option you have is to learn another language to get a job. And that's the question here. Guys, are you fucking programming because it's just fun, or are you here to try to get a job? Because if you're trying to get a job, you're going to have to learn the thing that is going to give you that job. And if you're just doing it because it's fun, then do whatever you want. Nobody cares, and neither should you. Just go with the thing that you enjoy. So this person continued saying basically that, oh, I'm learning Node on the back end and it seems to be very hard to get a start opportunity in my region. Like, what should I do? And all I can tell you is that if it really is impossible for you, or bordering on impossible for you to get a front-end position, well, then you're gonna have to move, or you're gonna have to find remote work or some other opportunity in another region. I mean, this is the thing, guys. Like that's why I urge you so much. Fucking turn off your computer or switch tabs, or like just ignore these idiots out there who will tell you that, oh, every other language is bullshit. The only language that is worth something is, I don't know, Elixir or whatever. Because it's just not true. It's not true. It's a big fat lie told by people who have no fucking clue about what they're talking about. I don't even know if I hope that you're checking out their references. You can go to my LinkedIn profile today and see that I am not just talking out of my ass. And I can promise you that the vast majority of senior developers and experienced professionals will agree with me when I say that sometimes you find yourself in a region or you work in a part of the world where certain languages are simply not used. That doesn't mean that these are bad languages. Here in Sweden, it's nigh on impossible to get a back-end position for Python. And Python is like one of the most popular programming languages in the world. That does, as I said, it doesn't matter because nobody here has a use for you if you're a master Python developer. It's the same thing with Haskell. There are tons and tons and tons of people who swear by Haskell. It's the best thing ever, and they will stand there and they will rather die than admit that this is pretty much useless for the vast majority of the industry. But it is true. It is true. Most companies don't use Haskell and most regions don't really have a use case for Haskell. And this is coming from me, who's working in Gothenburg, where like the university here in Chalmers, have among the most famous Haskell developers or the Haskell contributors in the world. Some of the most important tools have been developed here, and nobody still uses it. It's almost impossible to get a job with doing this. So this is why I'm telling you, I'm not saying that you should not bet on the language that you want to bet on, but you have to ask yourself this question. And that question is very simple. Do you like working in this language enough so that this language and being able to work in it takes precedency over availability? Are you willing to move for this language? Are you willing to work remotely? Are you willing to limit, quote unquote, or have specific requirements set on you employment-wise in order to work in this language? If you're not, then the boring, obvious choice is always going to be Java, C#, if you're into embedded or more low-level programming, C++. These are the three languages in general. If you want to work primarily with web or in agencies and things of this nature, PHP is a very good choice. Node and like JavaScript is also a very good choice. These are the boring languages that pretty much everybody uses across the globe. But if you're going to work in something different, or if you find yourself in a region where this is not true, well, you're going to have to check out the job postings and you're going to have to be flexible, because that is what it means to be a true professional. So what I want you to take away from this is that as a professional software developer, you have to go where people are fishing. Basically, you have to, or at least you're going to have to fish where there are fish. If you have a specific language that you're working in, and even though it's very popular, such as in my case Python, and there are no jobs, then you have no jobs. You have to be flexible. It doesn't matter how great you are at this programming language if nobody's going to pay you for it. And that might just be the thing that I've been telling you since day one here. It doesn't matter if one thing is better than another, or like there's no way to measure this, because if nobody's using it, because not everybody is on the same stack, well, then you're not going to get paid to do it. And it's up to you to decide if that is something that is important to you. If it's not, go for it, go crazy, do exactly what you want. But for those of you who want to actually work as professional programmers, you're going to have to adopt different languages, and you're going to learn tons of tools over the course of your career, most likely. Maybe you're going to have to start here. Maybe it was the first thing that you needed to realize about your career, that making your market value high enough so that you can actually get paid to do this is the thing that actually matters. And the language doesn't fucking matter at all, in general. I'm sorry, it's harsh to say this, but for most companies, they don't care. They don't care about if you're using the latest and trendiest thing or if you're using something else. They don't follow along in these little cute discussions that the IT community has on the internet, and they don't give a fucking shit about what the best languages are. They care about producing value for their company, and the stack that they picked at some point in time is for most of them the thing that they are going to stick with. So unless you know this tool, it doesn't really matter. Have a great day.